Good afternoon, everybody still in the room. I want to thank UNISDR for its leadership in organizing this global platform and the government of Mexico for this important event. We are pleased that Mexico will also serve as the next co-chair of GFDRR and will host the Understanding Risk in Mexico City next year. It's been a long morning and there are not so many people in the room, so I just want to give three messages. As one of the largest sources of expertise and finance for disaster risk management in the developing world, the World Bank is committed to making DRM a priority and to mainstream it in all of our work. And that's in all of its aspects, from ex-ante planning, preparation and prevention to ex-post recovery and reconstruction. And we will do this using all of our tools: policy-based lending, resilient investment lending, TA and capacity building, analysis, risk information, tools and platforms which we will make available to everyone, insurance and other de-risking products, building the environment for more private investment. And we will do all this in an inclusive manner with a focus on the poorest and the most vulnerable. I'm just going to quickly mention three sets of themes where we are working to support that. The first theme is that as I said, we're mainstreaming this into our work. So we've increased our annual financing for DRM from $3.7 billion in fiscal year 12 to $5.7 billion in 2015. We're now screening all of our projects for climate and disaster risks across all parts of the World Bank Group. And we're emphasizing ex-ante measures in our projects worldwide, incorporating things like early warning systems, resilient infrastructure, and other things like that in countries everywhere as diverse as Haiti, India, Malawi, and Morocco. And of course, we continue our focus on post-disaster recovery. Between 2012 and 2015, we deployed teams to 36 countries affected by natural disasters and channeled $4.5 billion for recovery and reconstruction in places like Ecuador, Vanuatu, and Nepal. The second theme we're focusing on is bringing a number of different instruments to the table. Our traditional investment lending delivered around 65% of financing with DRM co-benefits between 2012 and 2015. And we've introduced a crisis response window under IDA, our lending program for the poorest, which helps us rapidly allocate funds to the poorest countries when they face an external natural or economic shock. And this is what we used in Nepal, where we put $300 million after the 2015 earthquake. We're also using insurance instruments to protect vulnerable island states in the Caribbean and the Pacific, and helping small farmers face impact from climate change through rainfall insurance. We've developed a whole number of publicly available tools and platforms. We have one called Think Hazard, which can help users identify disaster risks and mitigation measures anywhere in the world, and it helps inform their investment planning. We're working with WMO and UNISDR on a $100 million climate risk early warning system, which we call CRUISE, and this was initiated by the government of France. And finally, the last theme where we're focused is on providing the evidence through analytics that DRM is actually good economics and development, and with this to help motivate policy making in the right direction. There's a new World Bank report called Unbreakable that finds that natural disasters cost $520 billion in welfare losses every year and forces 26 million people into poverty. And of course, these numbers will increase with climate change. So we think that this analysis shows that the evidence that disaster and climate risk-informed development can help address the challenges of poverty and vulnerability at the same time that we reduce the impacts of disasters. And the conclusion is, if we get it right, we can reduce these impacts by 80%. Over the next several decades, we're going to have a unique opportunity to make a big difference on the DRM agenda, given the amount of infrastructure and other kinds of investments that are going to be made. And I hope that this global platform has helped inspire all of us to get it right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Her Excellency Laura Tok, Vice President for the World Bank.